Alright people, what's up? This is Pepperboy X, and as you can see, I finally decided to do a review of the Acer TimelineX 4820TG. Now, the current model I have is the previous or first model that they came out with. It comes with the Core i5 450M processor. Now, the current ones that are in the market, they come with the 460M processor, which is slightly faster. And for some reason, it does have the newer models have less hard drive capacity, but most of the I think they like Bluetooth, but most of the aspects are pretty much the same. They have the same video card and everything else. Same memory, everything. Now, I'll just give you a quick look at the specs. I know most of them, just if anybody is interested. And as you can see, this is the manufacturer date. It's 2010, and the BIOS version 1.3. As for the laptop, I have to say I had it for over a month, and I'm in love with it. I'm actually thinking of replacing it with my desktop. Now, for the laptop, I have to say I really love it. It has a lot of power compared to what's out there. It costs around $800, which is a steal. It's light, it's portable, and it's powerful. Like I said, I do bring it to school and I use it in school. The battery life is actually very decent. With light surfing and stuff like that, it will last me usually 6 hours. Now, with playing games, it does eat up the battery a little, but you have to obviously turn it on high performance. Now, for the review, we're just gonna do some quick benchmarks. We're gonna run 3D Mark Vantage, and we're gonna run Prime95. As you can see, it does boot up pretty fast, which you'll see, and I love it. It actually boots up faster than my desktop. I mean, my desktop does have RAID 0, which takes a while to boot. Alright, now we're gonna take a closer look at the laptop itself. Now, as you can see, it's pretty solid. It has the brushed aluminum look to it on the palm rest and everything. The cover does have that brushed aluminum look, and I like it. The only downside, it does kind of it is prone to scratches. As you can see, I do have a slightly nasty scratch on it. Now, if you're gonna buy this laptop, I do suggest you get the case, the protective cases and everything. I think they're only 14-inch models, and it's not much. You don't need a special one, I think. Now, as for the screen is sturdy. A lot of people say it has flimsy hinges, and the screen is flexible. Yes, it's a very thin screen and does kind of flex a little, obviously. And it does have a slightly glossy finish. Now, you do have the webcam over here, and that's the microphone. Now, the keyboard is also very solid. A lot of people also said, or some people actually said, that it bends when you type on it or something. I don't know. Let me just say it's very solid. I used it for school and everything, and I had no problem. It does not bend or anything, unless you do press like a maniac. The speakers, they're kinda soft for me. They're not really loud, but the the sound quality is great. I guess they could be a little more powerful, but I'm not really complaining. They're great speakers. Now we're gonna take a look at the ports and everything of the laptop. As you can see, you do have the vent. There's only one fan in the laptop, and that is the main vent. It blows out a decent amount of air when under stress or anything. Now this is the VGA port. That's the HDMI port and Ethernet, and one USB port, and stereo headphone and microphone jacks. On the front we have the SD card slot. Just take your SD card, just put it in, and this is just, you know, for protection or aesthetics. I like to keep it in mind there, just for looks, so it looks cool. On the other side, you do have 3 USB ports and the optical drive bay. Now, there's no button on the actual drive bay. Just get a closer look at it. Better, it's kind of dark. Now, like I said, there's no button on the drive bay, but there is a button on the side for the optical drive bay. You just press it and the drive bay pops out. Now the other button is the power save button when you use it on battery. If you press it, it goes into the power save mode, which uses less CPU, uses less GPU, switches into the integrated video card. And if you press it again and the light goes off, and it switches into the slightly more powerful state, which switches to the high performance GPU and everything, and does use more battery. Okay, now we are gonna run some benchmarks. First off, we're gonna begin with hardware monitor to look at the temperatures. Now these are the idle temperatures at the moment. As you can see, they're pretty low. The CPU cores are at 40 each, and the GPU cores are also at around 46, and the hard drive is also pretty cool. Now, before I begin any benchmarks, I cannot run 3D Mark Vantage on this screen. I will hook it up to my desktop monitor due to resolution problems, but I will run other benchmarks like Prime95 and some games and such, like CounterStrike or something, or Eve or something. But yeah, basically they're idle, and we're gonna look at the temperatures slightly in between the test and at the end of the test. Let's begin the benchmarks. Okay, now we're gonna run Prime95. I set the torture test to in place large FFTs, which will give maximum heat power consumption RAM. This will put the CPU to maximum stress, as others don't really do so, as blend tests everything and mostly RAM, but the in place large FFTs torture test the CPU, which is basically my goal in this. We'll later test the GPU and we'll see how that goes. So I will now start Prime95, and we are gonna run it for, I say, 2 hours maybe, and we'll see how the temperatures are after that, and I will also give some feedback on how it performed. Now I am not gonna film the whole thing. I will film the beginning of the test and then at the end of the test to see how the laptop performed. So now we're gonna start the torture test. As you can see, it's gonna start doing work. Now we're gonna actually look at the control pinouts, task manager. As you can see, the CPU is being already put to 100%, and I can already hear the fan blowing much faster. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but it's already starting to work. So we will come back in around 2 hours and we'll see the temperatures and everything. We'll just take a quick look at what they are right now. As you can see, the CPU already spiked up to 74 Celsius, and I'm gonna keep track of it, and I will tell you how everything goes. Be back soon. Alright, as you can see, I've been running the test for around 40 minutes, and as you can see, these are the temps right now. It's still not done. It's gonna be at least an hour or more till it's finished, and we will get back after that. But these are the current temps so far. It's, I guess, within the limit of the Core i5, because I think the max threshold is 105 Celsius. But anyway, be back soon. Okay, so as you can see, I've been running Prime95 for 2 hours. So these are the temperatures, pretty much similar to what they were before, and yeah. So yeah, pretty much it. And now we're gonna do some other tests, which will probably be 3D Mark Vantage, and I'll have to set that up for an external monitor. Be there soon. As you can see, these are also the results. It ran for 2 hours 1 minute, 0 errors and 0 warnings, so it's all good. And like I said, we'll begin 3D Mark Vantage. Okay, so as you can see, I do have the laptop connected to an external monitor. It's right here. And well, I connected everything else, like my keyboard, my mouse, and everything from the desktop. So now we're gonna run 3D Mark Vantage. Now, as like I said, I can't really monitor the temperatures because of the client itself. So we're gonna run 3D Mark Vantage and see how it performs. Before we do that, I'll show you that it is running on the HD 5650. So this is just a catalyst center, and as you can see here, it is on the high performance GPU. And well, mostly if you want to switch it around, you just press this, whichever you want. So, and we're just gonna start off with the performance, and we're gonna go from there, see how it does.